Hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome to an ecological review of Empires of the Undergrowth, a new game developed by Slug Disco and published by Slug Disco and Hooded Horse. This game is a blend of real-time strategy and base building, with the occasional tower defense thrown in as well. But instead of building human cities and fielding human armies, you are building up an ant empire. This is a game I have been craving ever since I played some Ant back in the day. And I know what you're thinking, this game sounds amazing, but is it any good? And, more importantly, how scientifically accurate is it? And if that's all you need to know, the answer is a resounding yes. I absolutely love this game, and it's by far the most scientifically accurate game I have played in a very, very long time. And I'm an ecologist, so you can trust me. But if you're looking for a more in-depth review, here it goes. Let's look at 4 things: visuals, sound design including music, gameplay, and scientific accuracy. I will obviously be focusing on the last 2 for the majority of this review. Visually, I love this game. The invertebrates are all extremely well designed, move accurately, and have appropriate attacks. The locations are varied, ranging from the European beachhead to the South American jungles, the US swamps, and the African savanna. The range of invertebrates you encounter is equally astonishing, and far exceeded my expectations. In terms of sound design, let's first address the music of the game. Absolutely amazing. There's no other way to describe it. Again, the soundtrack really suits different environments we have in-game. The woodwind instruments of the leafcutter ant missions, the drum beats in the Matabele ant missions, the rising tension as the slave maker ants attack. Every note complements the action we observe on screen. The rest of the sound design is also great, and I have to particularly point out the popping sound the eggs make when they hatch. Normally a nice sound, meaning that a new ant has hatched, the increasing tempo of eggs hatching as a battle progresses becomes a terrifying sound as your food resources dwindle, and it becomes a desperate fight for survival. In terms of gameplay, this is a strategy game at its core, with food, space, and ant bodies being the main resources you have to keep in mind. Especially on harder difficulty levels, deciding where to dig the next tunnel or chamber becomes increasingly important. One wrong or overeager tunnel being dug may spell your colony's doom as your queen is rushed by predatory creatures. Something else that is worth pointing out is that battles are not always determined by the number of ants you throw at the problem. Spending resources to upgrade existing brood chambers rather than building new chambers could sway the battle in your favor. Nor are battles just a straight line slog or rugby scrum against opponents. When facing larger opponents, your ants will often clamber on top of them, attempting to bite and sting them while remaining invulnerable to the opponent's attacks. So if you are looking for an RTS game that is different from the hordes of all the same games out there, look no further. This game will hook you, mandible and all. Lastly, on the ecological side of things, let me just start by saying that this game is absolutely amazing. I never thought I would play a game that gets me giddy when I see a specific animal or plant, but Empires of the Undergrowth has managed to do just that. I'm honestly considering suggesting that my students look at the gameplay of this game to get a better understanding of what life is like in the undergrowth. Whenever a new species is encountered in-game, the names, common name as well as a scientific name, and a relevant fact is given. From velvet worms to army ants, each creature you encounter is a potential source of food, or a threat to avoid. And something that initially haunts your nightmares, and I'm looking at you, Devil's Coach Horse Beetle, becomes just another source of food by the end of the mission, as you have built up your strength and find safety in numbers. I found myself getting excited by so many things in-game. During the fire ant missions, for example, you encounter bombardier beetles. In Grounded, a game that I have also played extensively on this channel and love, the bombardier beetle sprays its boiling hot liquid over the top of its head, apparently due to them bugging out, pardon the pun, if they try to get it right. But in Empires of the Undergrowth, the bombardier beetles have the appropriate tuck my butt under my body and blast you till kingdom comes defensive posture. There are so many Easter eggs dotted around throughout the game, if you know where to look, and I will be sure to point out the ones I notice as I do my full playthrough of this game on my channel. I also have to credit the developers for doing their best to only include creatures that actually occur in the same area for each of the story missions. Too often the developers just throw species together on a map or game with no regard to whether they actually occur in the same area. For example, the beach wolf spider, which occurs in the US, was replaced with the sand bear wolf spider, which occurs in Europe, for the Formica rufa missions, which are in fact set in Europe. This attention to detail and scientific accuracy is something I have very rarely witnessed in games, and it is highly appreciated. Empires of the Undergrowth is a highly educational game. But this educational component does not come at the cost of fun or gameplay. Instead, it enhances it. This is a game that I wholeheartedly recommend. You will be exposed to a variety of very different ant species, face a horde of very interesting invertebrates, and ultimately feel accomplished when your colony triumphs. And for those who want to go further down the ant hole, this game also has great replayability. There are also a bunch of extra missions, a challenge mode to the story missions you have already completed, throwing in additional creatures to haunt your antmares, a battle arena to pit different creatures against one another, and a custom game mode where you can do free play or skirmish against the AI. The range of ant species you will be exposed to during these story missions is also already impressive, with dusky ants, wood ants, leafcutter ants, red imported fire ants, and mattabelly ants all being playable. In the final set of missions, there is also a termite mission that you can complete. And in the extra missions and free play, the range of ant species you can include in your colony includes many other species. In summary, Empires of the Undergrowth is a game that has definitely earned its place as one of my favorite games. Not only is the gameplay fun and challenging, but it succeeds in being both a real-time strategy game and a base building game, while also being fun and educational. The soundtrack and sound design really complements the gameplay, and the range of environments, missions and creatures covers a far greater range than I ever expected. This is a game I definitely recommend, and this has been my review of Empires of the Undergrowth. If you have not yet done so, please consider subscribing for more educational gaming content, or if you are keen to see an ecologist playing this game, check out my live stream playlist right over there, or check out another video right over there. Until next time everybody, stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Bye!